Come on.
Alright, so very few people know the name Buddy Holly, but those who do know who he is and how he was impactful to the rock and roll genre and its upcoming in the late 1950s and early 60s. So Buddy was one of the first to do it. He was really special. His vocal style was unique, and the people have never heard it. And so this is what really got him up and going. Grew up in Texas. They lived on the ranch. His father and mother were both tradesmen in tailorship, and that's really where he started. And if he didn't discover his use of music, he would have ended up doing the same thing as his dad. So Buddy, knowing he had a talent after singing in a church choir, I would believe, continued to pursue that, and eventually ended up working at a radio, and things kind of snowballed from there. But Buddy's style of music was unique. He started out doing radio shows, commercials, that kind of stuff, like a low rate musician would do in the late 50s. My bad. And so that's kind of how he started going. And there was a quote from him that one of his youth teachers came up to him and said, "Buddy, if I gave you $10, what would you do with it?" And he goes, "Sir, if I had $10, I wouldn't be here." So Billy obviously wanted to get out of Texas and do something with his life. And so that comes to the impact of his music and a lot of the other impacts of his style. So Buddy was known for writing meaningful music that had a good beat to it. And so some of the ways he incorporated that meaningfulness was by making the songs about something related to him. Like, there's a song about his upcoming Texas, and then there's one that I'm going to show you about his niece, Cindy Lou. And so I'll play a quick, 25 seconds of that, so you can hear that. After I get it up here. There we go. Oh. Alright, so that was an example of what his music sounded like. And obviously in the song it was changed from from Cindy Lou to Peggy Sue. From what I could find, that change was just out of rhyming reasons. This just flowed better. And anyway, so another thing Buddy did was his fashion sense. In the late 50s, there was a fad for these glasses that he wore because he was on the up and coming, and everyone wanted to be like him. And so these glasses were the style for the last 4 years in the 50s. Yeah, I take that back. The last 2 years in the 50s, and carried on in the 60s. So, anyways, into his death. So Buddy Holly's career was very short. It was 18 months, not even 3 years. They were actually here in Iowa. They were performing at the Clear Lake Town Center, I want to say. And there was a blizzard coming, and they got cleared to fly by the control tower, and they took off, Buddy and one of his other musician friends. And so they were flying, and they hit some turbulence, or hit the blizzard. And their plane crashed in a cornfield in Iowa, and no one found them for a day because they're in snowdrifts. And so after his death, there wasn't any memorials or tributes or anything like that. He wasn't recognized in his town like Elvis was when he died. His town didn't even get memorialized. They don't even know that's exactly where from, on a town sign or anything. And that's how little people knew about him during his death, or before his death. And then post-mortem, his record label released some of his unreleased songs, and he just blew up, and that's how he really got his going for kind of setting off the rock and roll era, or the rock and roll genre of like the early 60s and late 50s. So that is how Buddy impacted his life, and that's how most of the people have heard of him. Either you're a music guru or you're just a huge fan of rock and roll, and you just know the guy because he genuinely listens to his songs. But so that's how most of the people who know who he is are older people in their 40s, 50s, 60s. So that was right around there. It's right up their alley. And so that's how most people know him. I personally didn't know him before doing this assignment, and I'm glad I can say I know more about him. So.
Yay! So good.
How long was it?